allow my original qualities of easiness and peace to enter my consciousness. I choose to remove all doubts, questions, and other thoughts from my mind. I have a right to experience peace and serenity in my life. I don't have to ask for peace or search for peace. This quality already belongs to me. From deep within myself, I emerge the feeling of peace. I experience peaceful vibrations rising up from within myself and gently caressing my mind, surrounding my inner self with silence and tranquility. Now I can relax and take a rest from the constant racing of my own thoughts, and allow myself to experience who I truly am, a being of peace, a being of light, a being of silence. I am peaceful and light. I'm beyond the pull of circumstances or the nature of others. Now, even my body sets me free, and I can travel upward and outward to a dimension of silence and peace, my original home, a home of rest, a home of infinite light, a home of unending peace. I become aware of a powerful energy of light, like a star, radiating infinite light, sending the vibrations of light and love which touch the very depths of myself. This supreme energy of light and love is sending me a vision of myself. I am free. I'm worthy to be loved. I have the clarity and depth within my intellect to experience my destiny as I choose. I am the creator of my own reality. I have the strength to glide across the troubled waters of life, safe in the boat of my own determination and positive attitudes. I'm not alone. My heart accepts the love and guidance from my infinite divine star of light, the light of God. I am loved just as I am. No demands, no expectations, just the pure love of total acceptance. I become full of love and gladness. The broken pieces of my heart become filled with the warmth, love, and self-respect that radiates to me from my divine star of light. And the broken pieces join together, making me whole again. I accept this infinite light of love, and I merge into an ocean of limitless love and peace. I sit with God as a father, and I feel my Father's protection and guidance. I rest with God as a mother, and I feel my mother loving and nurturing me. I enjoy the company and acceptance of God as my friend. I experience true love from God, my beloved. I experience the lightness and joy of the child in the nature of God. my relationships with God, the supreme, infinite star of light, love, and peace, have become a reality. I can let go of abstract images of the past and, in a most simple way, catch the vibration, energy, and power of God with my mind. The vibrations of infinite peace and love. The energy that gives me power to realize my own strengths and true purpose of my life. And the power to make my deepest wishes and dreams a reality. Lightness and joy dance within me. I'm filled with strength and optimism. I have found the path to truth. I am true. All becomes silent and clear, suspended in the love of God and a deep respect for myself. I'm free. The chains of life and of my own mind no longer bind me. I can experience life in a natural way, free from sorrow and stable in happiness. Now, it's time to bring my thoughts back to the room in which I'm sitting. I hold within my heart the experience of the silent, peaceful land beyond, where resides the brightest star of creation, an infinite light of peace and love, the light of God. I maintain within myself feelings of lightness, joy, clarity, truth, and self-respect. My own original qualities. My own true nature of peace. All I have to do is just be. And all I have to be is what I am. A peaceful being of light and of love.
मोहब्बत से भर जाएगा। ख्वाबों को तुम खुशनुमा पाओगे, ख्वाबों को तुम खुशनुमा पाओगे। आसमां से जन्नत उतर आएगा। इन ख्यालों में ऐसी है ताकत भरी, मोम पत्थर को कर दे वो कारीगरी। ये बना दे फरिश्ता ये हूर और परी। क्या गजब की है इनकी भी जादूगरी। इनसे सारे ज़माने की खिदमत करो, इनसे सारे ज़माने की खिदमत करो। खुद दुआओं से दामन संवर जाएगा। ख्यालों को यूं खूबसूरत करो। ख्याल कीमती है यूं न जाया करो। अश्कों को न बेवजह बहाया करो। मुंतजिर हो खुदा की फकत याद में, भूल करना किसका दिल दुखाया करो। मुश्किलें मिटा देगा वो मुश्किल कुसान, मुश्किलें मिटा देगा वो मुश्किल कुसान। रूह में वो ताकत भर जाएगा। ख्यालों को यूं खूबसूरत करो, ख्यालों को यूं खूबसूरत करो। दिल खुदाई मोहब्बत से भर जाएगा। ख्वाबों को तुम खुशनुमा पाओगे, ख्वाबों को तुम खुशनुमा पाओगे। आसमां से जन्नत उतर आएगा। ख्यालों को यूं खूबसूरत करो, ख्यालों को यूं खूबसूरत करो, ख्यालों को यूं खूबसूरत करो।
Om Shanti. Let's have a few moments of reflection first. Keep the body calm and still. And reflect on what is the truth. Become aware that this body is a vehicle and you, the soul, are the driver of this vehicle. Very gently come to observe that I am the point of light, the being, the driver, the owner of this vehicle called the body. I'm sitting on the driving seat behind the eyes. There I sit and operate the various organs of this body. I see through the eyes. I hear through the ears. I speak through the mouth. I perform actions through this body. And how I see, how I hear, how I speak or act depends on how I am. Look at yourself. You are a soul with your sanskars. You are the energy, the consciousness with your sanskars driving this body. Just sit in this awareness for a few seconds. Om Shanti. I will start today's session with a joke. And so there is this person, and he goes to a shop which sells spectacles, and he asks for a spectacle, a goggle or a chashma, Okay, and he says, I want a pair of spectacles which will enable me to read. So then the shop owner tries various numbers of spectacles on him, and he says, now can you read? Now can you read? And every time this person says, no, I'm still unable to read. I'm still unable to read. And then finally the shop owner asks, do you know how to read? Then this person says, no, I don't know how to read and write. So he says, then how can you read and write if I give you a pair of specs? He says, no, people say if you have specs, you can read better. So he says, no, you can read only if you know how to read. So he said, okay, I didn't know that. So he said, for that you have to go to school, not come to this shop. So why I'm telling you this is because we always thought that there is a problem with how we look, or our eyes, or our ears, or the world outside. The problem is not with the world, the problem is with the onlooker. So if I don't know how to see right, I don't have the right consciousness, the right attitude, the right perception, then the world will never look nice and fair and beautiful to me. So in the meditation, we were practicing that I am the one seeing through my eyes, hearing through my ears, speaking through my mouth, and I have sanskars. And those sanskars are a product of my consciousness. And I told you yesterday that there is consciousness, then there is attitude, then there is vision, and then there is action. And whatever action you perform repeatedly becomes your sanskar. So if we are operating in body consciousness for very long, then we have made certain sanskars out of that. And now those sanskars act like the filter or the glasses through which we see the world. So we see the world not as it is, but as we are. Okay, does this make sense to you? So the world appears to me as I am, not as the world is. So if I want to change my experience of the world, I have to change my sanskars. And the key to changing my sanskars is changing my consciousness. So this is why we are doing this whole practice of changing our consciousness to I am a soul, and practicing that I am a soul who has the sanskar of peace, love, purity, happiness, so that wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. So as a soul, my sanskar is peace, love, purity, happiness. And the more I practice paying attention to them, they will grow. And then when I am peaceful, I am loveful, the world is loveful and happy and peaceful for me. So when you are happy, the world is happy. That is the rule. So it all lies, it is inside out, it is not outside in. So whatever we perceive, however our experience of the world is very dependent on our own sanskars. And you see, the way we respond to various events outside also depends on our sanskars. For example, so let's take a very normal example, like there is orange and there is lemon. And then the same amount of pressure is applied on both. and then you get sweet juice out of one and sour juice out of one. Why? Not because of the pressure, because the pressure is the same, but what comes out is what is contained inside. So it is always what is contained inside what matters. So we have to see what is contained inside me, because whatever is happening outside is just a trigger. So what they bring out in me is what is contained inside. So today I will tell you a very interesting situation that we are in. So there is a loop, and that loop has 3 words: being, doing, and becoming. Being, doing, and becoming. So we are a certain kind because of our journey, and then we do as we are. Yes, so whatever we think or speak, or the attitude I have or the action I perform, depends on how I am, and then I become as I do. So whatever action I perform repeatedly, they become my sanskar. So I am a certain kind, there is a being, and the being gives rise to the doing. So I do as I am, and then the becoming is a product of the doing. So I become as I do. So basically, then again I do as I am. So this is a whole loop. So I am, I do as I am, and I become as I do, and then again I do as I am. So we keep reinforcing our old sanskars all the time. Okay, so if I have ego, then I will have an ego reaction. And when I have an ego reaction, my sanskar of ego will get more and more strong. Okay, so if I am egoistic, I will continue to be more egoistic day by day. If I have anger, if I am an angry person, then I will act out of anger. I will have angry reactions to situations. And then what will my sanskar become day by day? More and more angry. And then the capacity or the probability to react in an angry fashion will increase with every passing day. So this is what is happening. The being, the doing, and the becoming, they are forming a loop. So, and that loop is so self-perpetuating that we are becoming worse and worse versions of ourselves every day without any effort, because this law is working. Now you see, I told you that consciousness leads to attitude, vision, and then action, and then sanskars. And then those sanskars determine our consciousness again. And then again they lead to action, and then again they reinforce the sanskars that are already there. So this is the loop that we are in. Now let us understand this with an example, and also understand how these sanskars came into being, because I told you that our original sanskar, or the original design of the soul, is knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and power. So now how I do, and how do I have anger or lust or attachment or greed or other stuff in me? So how did they come into being? Let's understand this today, and then also understand how we can rise above it. Now you see, remember a day, a time, or conceptualize a time when you were only knowledgeful, loveful, peaceful, blissful, happy, pure, and powerful. You did not know what sorrow or anger or greed or attachment or ego is. Can you conceptualize such a time? So, if you don't have any of these traits in you, then how will your responses be? Just, just imagine you don't know what ego is, you don't know what anger is, you don't know what being greedy is, you don't know how to hoard, you don't know how to be selfish, you don't know how to criticize, or you don't know how to reject someone or neglect something. So, if you don't know these things, you are in the same situations, like it is raining one day and sunny one day, and it is cold one day, and then you are in an atmosphere where somebody is speaking nicely, somebody is staying a bit aloof and everything. But how do you respond if you don't have any negative trait? You smile at everything. You smile at everything that is happening around you, right? Just like a child, even if two people are fighting, the child smiles because he doesn't know how to do anything else. He doesn't know he can shout or cry or throw things around or be any other way. So he just smiles because that's what he knows how to do best. So there was a time when there was change around us and things didn't stay constant. There was constant change. Everything was changing continuously, just the way it is. Yes, the speed of that change could have been slower because it was slower even 30 years back or 40 years back. Now the change is getting very fast and rapid. But even then, there was change around you, but then you didn't know how to respond to that change in any negative fashion. So all you did was stay happy, stay peaceful, and smile at everything. Yes. So can you practice this today, one day? That anything happens, somebody breaks something, somebody does something that you think is not the right thing to do, you think they betray you, you think they were impunctual or disrespectful or irresponsible, and still you only smile because that is how you know how to respond to things. Can you do that? Can you do that? And why do you feel so compulsively about responding in any other way? Because even if you respond in any other way, it doesn't change the situation. It only changes how you feel. So even if you respond differently, even if you shout at them, or if you reject them, or you insult them, or you do anything or you experience sorrow or bitterness or any other emotion, the situation stays the same. So why do you think smiling is not a better idea? So you could smile at everything and still everything would change the way it does. And now you are responding in million different ways and still it is getting worse and worse. So why don't we create this habit of just smiling at everything? So, when I came into this spiritual path, there was something very interesting that the sister who was giving me the course told me. She said, instead of saying how gross or how rude or how dare they or how could this, just use one word, how wonderful. She said, whenever anything happens, just say this one thing, how wonderful this is. So I said, if somebody abuses you, you say, how wonderful. I can't abuse them like this. They can abuse me like that. How wonderful, how amazing. So she said, you do this all day and your life will become amazing and wonderful. And it was really interesting, and I found it very funny in the beginning, but it works. It works. And if you just change your responses to this one standard response, how amazing, how wonderful, then you actually start feeling amazing and wonderful about everything. Because it is really interesting and amazing to notice that people can behave so differently than you in different situations. Yes, so and when you say this, you keep saying it is amazing and wonderful, then your life starts feeling as if it is amazing and wonderful. Other things around you remaining the same. So, anyways, they are not changing. So, your experience of them is changing anyway. So, good for you. So, this is how it was in the beginning. So, there was change around us, just like there is change now. But we did not know how to respond other than with peace, with happiness, with love, with stability. So power, if you want to use a different word for powerful, it is stable. So anybody who is powerful is not influenced. So you responded with stability, with love, with peace, with happiness to anything that came your way. And then what went wrong? So then, because you kept operating with matter, so you are a soul. In the beginning, you operated with your consciousness of who you are. You are peaceful, you are happy, you are blissful. So you operated from a peaceful, happy, and blissful place. And then slowly, gradually, because you were taking bodies, shedding bodies, performing roles, taking up responsibilities, you started getting confused between who you are and what you do, who you are and what you have, between who you are and the role you perform and the body you take, because you kept doing it for very long. Do you know that there is a problem that actors face in their journey? And the problem is that if they repeatedly keep performing a role, they lose the distinction between their true personality and the personality of their role. And this is a psychological problem which they really go through. So, for example, there is an actor and he's performing the role of Akbar for very long, maybe for 6 months. And then he goes home and he starts talking like Akbar. So, this is a genuine problem that takes place, because if you keep performing a role over and over again, then you gradually lose sight of who you are and who the role is, or what the role is. So this is what happened to the soul also. And when we keep performing a role, that the quality of that role starts taking over on my true personality with time. So this is how body consciousness came in. Now, let me give you an example from real life. So I had a friend in college, and he was a very nice and gentle and kind and soft-spoken person. And then he got selected as a sub-inspector with the police. So we used to make fun of him, and we used to say that you are such a kind person, and the thief would never be scared of you, and you would be scared of the thief instead. And you cannot shout at anybody, so they won't listen to you. And these kind of things we kept telling him. And then he took up that job, and then we lost touch. And then I came onto the spiritual path. And then many years later, I saw him on the airport one day. And then he was with his wife. And then his wife told me that, oh, you are his friend and you are a Brahma Kumari. So why don't you teach him something? So I said, what does he need to learn? He's already very sweet and gentle and kind. So she said, no, he is not sweet or gentle or kind. He treats me like one of his prisoners, and he shouts at me and abuses me all day and night. So I said, no, that's not possible. He is not that person. So I asked him, and he said, no, she is right. And I am shocked to see you, and I really there are flashes of my who I was coming back to me, and I also don't remember how I have changed so much in these many years. And he said, when I went to work as a in the police, then every day people used to tell me, see, you are a policeman now, and you have to be tougher, and you have to be stricter and ruder, and more aggressive, and this and that. And then slowly, gradually, I started faking it, because I was not that person. So I started faking it, and now I am that person. And today I realize I have come a long way with respect to my personality. So, and now I don't know how to be that person who I was originally. So, this is how, so when we take up roles and responsibilities and we start in a quest to perform them better, we start, manifesting traits that they want, that role demands, or that job demands, or anything of that kind demands, or the societal norms. We try to fit into the societal norms, and gradually they become part of our personality. They become part of our sanskar. And then birth after birth after birth, the roles are changing, the contexts are changing, and we are acquiring different traits and different personalities and different sanskars as we take birth after birth. And now we have a whole accumulation of myriads of sanskars which we have carried over many, many, many births, because the soul carries sanskars, and from birth to birth, whatever sanskars you create in one birth don't don't get over when you take a new body, so they get carried forward. So there is a cumulative tendency with sanskars, and we have been accumulating so many sanskars over many births. And by doing this, we have become who we have become. And then this is one process. And the second thing is, we are always around body conscious people. So we are in a culture of body consciousness. So first thing is, we look at ourselves as bodies and as roles. And then other people also look at us as that. And then our consciousness is also affected by how other people look at us. Yes, so if you look at science, then science also speaks of, so you must look up the double slit experiment in science, which is very famous, and you can find it on YouTube and other places, and it is called the double slit experiment. And in that double slit experiment, it is said that the reality is influenced by the consciousness of the person who sees it. So there is an experiment in science in which it is proven that the atomic movement of particles, they change with the change of the onlooker. So it depends. So how the particles behave depend on who is looking at them. So when the observer changes, the particles behave differently. So this is the experiment in quantum physics, which is called the double slit experiment, and you can look it up, and it shows that even physical energy behaves differently when seen by a different observer. So similarly, when other people around us are body conscious, then we become more and more body conscious in their presence. So we will also have a look at how this works. So I will share an incident with you. And we were holding a program in the center. And in that program, there were two brothers accompanied by their mother. And one of the brother was 5 years of age, and another was 3 years of age. Both kids were there. And then the 5-year one was sitting upright and very attentive and very sincerely listening to the lecture. And the 3-year-old one was just, being very restless and moving from here to there, or he couldn't sit in one place, so he found one reason to get up every time. So I was looking at the 3-year-old, and this 5-year-old caught me looking at him. And he told me, please excuse him, he is very young. So then I saw the 5-year-old one and I said, and you? So he said, no, I am the elder one. मैं बड़ा हूँ ना, तो मैं तो बड़ा हूँ, he said. So then I started thinking, see, he is only 5-year-old. But then the message he has been getting every day is you are the elder one. So you are old, you are bigger. So you have to be responsible, you have to be sensible, you can't be unstable or restless. So he has been getting this message, and because he has been getting this message based on the comparative age of his body, he has acquired that sanskar of being responsible. And the younger one is only 2 years younger, but the message he has been getting continuously is you are younger and you are allowed to be, mischievous, and you are allowed to be irresponsible. So that one is being irresponsible because that is the messages he is getting. Okay, so we are surrounded by body conscious people all the time. And those body conscious people around us, right from the time we come out of the womb, we carry sanskars of body consciousness. And second is, as soon as we come to this world, there are people surrounding us who are constantly looking at us as bodies, as a gender, as an age, as some ability or disability, physical or mental, of that kind. And then they keep giving us messages of this kind, which we internalize, and they create our sanskars. So let me give you another example. So I know somebody, and she has twins. One is a girl and another is a boy. And then that lady's mother-in-law is very discriminative about the gender. So she loves the boy a lot, her grandson, and the granddaughter she doesn't love. So every time she looks at both of them, they are of same age, they are twins, but she would always tell the girl child, you have come free with the boy. So you are in the package. So he came, so you came with him. So you don't have your own individual identity, you are plus one. So, and then she would treat her like that extra. And every time she would feed both of them, she would tell this girl child, why are you throwing tantrums? He's throwing tantrums is okay, but why are you throwing tantrums? You should eat your food quickly. And then, now that these two children are growing, you can see a lot of difference in their personality. So the girl child is very snobbish, and she has anger, and she looks frustrated, and most often she's also a little scared, and she doesn't express herself, but there is latent anger in her, and you can see it. And the boy child is like, he thinks he can get away with anything in the world. And this personality is very evident in 4 years or 5 years of time alone. So when these children grow up, you will see how these things manifest as they grow up. So we are receiving messages based on our gender or our age or our comparative status in the family or other things, and these also we internalize. So let's say somebody is not a good student, so maybe they are not good at academics, right from childbirth, from their birth, but they may be good at art or painting or something else. But then, because the society says that good marks is more important than good art, so then you keep giving the message to the child that you are good for nothing if you are not good at academics. And then the child starts taking that message and thinking that I'm good for nothing, I'm good for nothing. And even his ability to be good at what he is good at suffers because of this message that I'm good for nothing. So, this is how being surrounded by people who look at us as resources, and then the social norms about what is more valuable and what is less valuable. So a female body is less valuable than a male body, or a dark skin is less valuable than a light skin, or good marks are more valuable than other performances, or something. And then these kind of messages, or if you are a woman, then it is more important to look good, and if you are in a male body, it is more important to study well and earn well. So when a soul is in a female body, then they always get the message that it is important to look good. And I will tell you one experience. I was once traveling by the metro, and there was this girl sitting across me, and she had these braces on her teeth, and her mother was sitting beside her, and her mother kept telling her, why don't you put on your braces regularly, and look at how you are looking, and nobody would marry you, and do you even know that you have no worth if you don't look good, and just look at your face, you look like a monkey, and this and that. And she kept saying these things to her, and this girl was sitting there with a grim face, and 45 minutes of the journey I saw this going on. And even if her teeth get repaired, her self-esteem will never get repaired, because that has been damaged for life. So these are the ways in which body conscious people around us, they look at us in a body conscious manner, and then by their vision we also become body conscious. So as a soul, every soul is worthy and capable and powerful. But when we are perceived as bodies, then as bodies we have different capacities, or there are different values and worth associated with different bodies, different gender, age, everything. And then the messages that we get slowly get ingrained in the soul in the form of a sanskar, and they start affecting how worthy we feel inside, or how powerful we feel inside, or how capable we feel inside ourselves. And then our sanskars determine how we perform also, and then we start becoming that which we believe we are. So this is how it is working, and slowly, gradually, we are all looking at each other as bodies, and if somebody doesn't earn, or somebody's never went to school, then you see them as good for nothing, and slowly they become good for nothing because of your perception. So, and this is a rule, and seeing creates the being. So seeing into being is a true phenomena. So how you see things colors how they become. And do you know there are, so there is the placebo effect, which science talks about. And whenever you see yourself healing, whenever you perceive that your body is healing, your body heals itself. And whenever you think, there is the nocebo effect also. So if you think I'm getting ill, you get ill. So your perception or your consciousness colors the reality is a true phenomena. So this is how it is all going on. Now, since we have been around body conscious people, and we have become body conscious For so many births now, we have many sanskars that have emerged out of this. And the main sanskar that we have, which has emerged out of this body conscious behavior, is ego. Now, what is ego? Ego is uh, ego is ascertaining your value based on external things. So, whenever you ascertain your value based on external things, not on your internal assets, then that is ego. So, when you think I'm worthy because my body is beautiful, or I have 5 degrees, or I do a good job, or I have a great voice, or I have great teaching faculty, or this or that, that is ego. So this is the greatest phenomena that has taken place because of this body conscious approach to living. And now we have. So, do you think that you are worthy because you have a great body or great finances, or you are young in age, or you have great contacts, or this and that? So we all think like that, right? So, what determines your self worth? So, you are worthy because of whatever external things you have. They determine your worth, right? This is why you are always in fear, because the external is always changing. And if your worth depends on that, then you can never be in a stable place within yourself. So, what is the opposite of ego? The opposite of ego is self respect. The opposite of ego is self respect. And in Hindi, we call it Swaman. And what is Swaman or self respect? Swaman or self respect is knowing that I am worthy because I am, not because of what I have or what I do. I am worthy because I am. I am worthy because I am a soul, I am peaceful, I am pure, I am loveful, I am blissful, and I am powerful by design. This is self-worth. This is self-respect. And I don't have to depend on anything external to feel worthy within myself. So even if the body is not in a good state, my self-esteem doesn't suffer, or my self-respect doesn't suffer, because my self-respect doesn't depend on the state of my body, or the state of my work, or the state of my finances. All right. So can you practice this? So this is a new teaching, and you will have to practice it so that you imbibe it. Now, this is not to say that you should not take care of physical health. This is not to say that you shouldn't go and earn. This is not to say that you shouldn't achieve or accomplish. But that your self-respect should not depend on that. Because even if you work very hard for your health or your finances or your position, you may not be able to make sure that it always goes your way. So even if things don't go your way, still your sense of self is not lost, or you don't feel unaccomplished within, even if there is no accomplishment outside, because that is not there today, it will come tomorrow. But if this is lost, then everything is lost. All right, so separate the two. Operate in the external, but be anchored in the internal. So my internal world, my state of self-esteem or self-respect depends on who I am as a soul. So my peace, my happiness, my purity, my state of innate power determines who I am. And then on the external, I work, I do, I achieve, all that is there. Okay, so see, I am a spiritual teacher, right? This is what I do. I take 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever classes in a day. But that doesn't determine who I am. Right? Today, tomorrow, if I'm not able to take classes, the internet crashes, then do I stop being a teacher? I'm still who I am, right? Even if I don't teach, I'm still a teacher. Okay, so teaching, not teaching, performing, not performing, achieving, not achieving may depend on many factors outside. But who you are is because of who you are on the inside. So you still have that capacity, that power, that potential, and that is what determines who you are, not its validation from outside. So even if it is not validated from outside, you are still who you are. Yes, so if even if you don't like my class, I am still a good teacher. Okay, so so because if I stop believing in myself, then I cannot convince you. So if you say I didn't like the class, I will say, well, you are welcome to your opinion, but that doesn't mean my class is not good. Maybe your taste is not good. Or maybe you and I are looking for different things. I'm giving you something else which you are not looking for. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad teacher. Okay, so you should believe in what you have inside. And then sometimes the what other people want or what the environment wants or what the time wants may match with what you have, may not match with what you have. But then your peace inside, your confidence, your self-worth, your state of happiness or contentment should not suffer because of the external environment. Because the truth is, situations will come and go, people will come and go, behaviors will change, but you will live with yourself forever. So you better be good to yourself. So when you have to live with yourself forever, it is very necessary that you have a good and dignified relationship with yourself. And you respect your worth more, even if nobody else does. If other people do, very good. But if they don't also, it is fine, it is okay. So, everybody is entitled to their opinion and their choices. And you should give them that liberty to choose and behave the way they want. But then that shouldn't put you in self-doubt, and that shouldn't compromise your peace or your happiness or your state of tranquility and contentment inside. So this is something that we need to know, that I am who I am because of my internal assets, and then I perform. Sometimes we'll have a good day, sometimes we'll not have a good day. But that doesn't make me compromise something on the internal. And I visited a couple once. They were very elderly, and they were very elderly, and they were suffering from so they were not in a good space mentally, basically. And when I saw them, they were not looking happy and okay. So I asked them, what is the problem? So they told me that, Didi, we both had cancer 3 years back. So I said, okay, so how is your cancer, or what is the stage, or how is it now? So they said, no, Didi, we had enough money. So the cancer got treated 3 years back. So the treatment took 1 year, and within 1 year we were fine. And with state of the art technology nowadays, cancer is not a big issue. Then I said, then why don't you look okay right now? So if the cancer got treated 2 years back, why are you not in happy space? So they said, Didi, when the cancer persisted for 1 year, we got depression during that 1 year, because we thought we are going to die, and then that thought lingered on, and now it's been 2 years we are fighting depression. So, you see, if you allow something external to become an internal problem, then the external shifts and changes, but the internal issue stays. Okay, so this is something that we should always note and never allow anything on the external, because the external will always shift and change. Don't allow that change to make you less confident about yourself, or less sure, or less peaceful, or less happy on the inside. All right, Om Shanti. Let me see what you have written. Is our self esteem a product of positive self talk? No, it is not a product of only positive self talk. It is a product of true consciousness that this is who I am. It's not that I'm not this, I'm trying to talk myself into it. This is who I am. This is a matter of realization. Okay. Why don't we get enough motivation to change ourselves and to do that effort? There is some kind of mental resistance and laziness. How to overcome that? The first step to overcome it is wake up in the morning and sit for this class. So if you make this little effort, the other effort I will make you do. But this one effort you will have to put in, right? Okay, Om Shanti, let's meditate for some time. But I will send you a video which is some 45 minutes of duration. You take out time and watch that. That video is all about stuff that I've been talking to you about with pictures and visualization. So that will help you create a picture, a mental image, and it will help you in your meditation practice. So go through that and that will be very helpful for you. Okay, let's meditate for some time. Sit still. And gently come to the awareness of your true self. I am a tiny soul. Sitting behind the eyes. A very, very small point. I am light and peaceful, shining radiantly and blissfully on my seat. I am carefree, fearless, and very, very light. Just see yourself. You are a weightless point of light, very carefree, fearless, light, and peaceful. Knowing myself is an experience of freedom. I have become free of all the weight I was carrying. I feel so unburdened, so light. I can fly into this state of peace whenever I want. This is who I am, a radiant, light, carefree, fearless, peaceful point of light. Sit in this awareness for some time. Shanti.
एक मेरा मनमीत जहां, एक मेरा मनमीत जहां, दूजा है कोई और नहीं, और नहीं कोई और नहीं। चल रे मना ले, चल तू वहाँ, चल रे मना ले, चल तू वहाँ, जग का जहाँ कोई शोर नहीं, शोर